Hello everybody, Chris here with Hollywood Haunter, and today we're here with Greg, the creator of Restless Souls Manor. And he has agreed to take me into his scary haunt, and I'm very restless about learning the secret ins and outs of the way he created this home haunt.
We have always had kind of a semi-facade in the last couple of years, but we decided to bump out a few feet from the garage to add a few extra feet of space, mainly because we need to add a room because we added a time machine this year for the haunt.
Whoa, Greg. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a haunted house?
Yes, for the most part.
Oh, that's cool.
We needed to have a room for the time machine, and so that kind of forced us out into the driveway a little bit. So
each year you just get closer and closer to the street.
Keep moving out a little bit.
That's awesome. So I'm noticing on here that your siding, it looks real, but at closer glance, it's just painted on there.
Yeah, it's all faux painted. We had an artist friend of ours, Shannon Thompson, come and faux paint that, and it's a really great technique. Actually, I'll probably be posting a video on my YouTube channel soon on that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Technique. You just have to mark out all the lines. You have to base coat everything one color, and then you actually paint using a block of wood.
Okay.
As the brush.
Yeah.
And the block of wood will skip the surface and leave the base color behind.
That's
and
cool.
That's how you get the kind of peely, flaky appearance.
Yeah.
And then once that dries, you actually, because you've taped everything off with painter's tape, then you just use cheap black spray paint, and cheap's important, to get the shadow lines.
Yeah.
And then you let that dry, come back and tape everything, the alternates, so you're taping every other, right?
That's really smart.
Off and then paint it off again. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, when you see the finished product, you're just blown away at how good it looks, because everybody comes up and wants to touch it.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe that that's flat.
Plus, I bet with that black shadowing and stuff, I bet it looks really nice at nighttime in the dark.
In the dark, it looks fantastic.
That's really cool. So you go to Costco and get like 20 rolls of blue masking tape?
Lots of blue tape.
That's cool.
The same technique was actually used on the trim and such, so it was just base coated, and then the board just a little bit drier and just skipped over the top of it, and so it creates all these little skips and scuffs that way.
I really like. Is this a store-bought door? Or did you build that, or
freebie Craigslist door?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and of course I built the little broken pediment piece on top.
I love it.
Trim that out.
Yeah, it's really a nice detail on this, like even in the window trimming and stuff. And then also too, real quick, what is this that you have in the window? That's kind of cool.
This is actually a shade cloth, like you put on a patio cover.
Yeah.
I just had some extra left over, so it just kind of looks a little bit like screen.
Yeah, it does.
But it's already black.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
that's really cool. And plus,
if you stapled on the back, and then
if you ever wanted to add light behind that, I bet you could still see a little bit, right?
We have in previous years actually put a couple of tea lights on the back side of it.
Very cool.
So you see a little flickering light through it. Got a freebie window frame and some 2x3 and just,
yeah, I was just gonna ask because I saw this on there and I was like, I wonder if that's
take it off.
Yeah, exactly. Adds to the realism of the window.
Exactly. Come on in. Let's take a peek. So this is the foyer, and I'm sorry, we are kind of between showtime at the moment. So
Sure.
There's some storage in here. This is the kiosk that goes out front, actually. This is normally out in the yard where people are waiting in line. So we just have a laptop we connect to it. This is playing a commercial. The commercial for this year's haunt is a time travel haunt.
Okay.
Is the story. So we set this up. We literally built this yesterday in like 30 minutes before showtime. So it's not very pretty, but in the dark it doesn't matter. Nobody can see it because the monitor is the only light right there.
Yeah.
And so we're playing a commercial on time travel with dinosaurs. So the plan is the story is we're going to take you to see the time of the dinosaurs.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so then we go into the time machine.
That's awesome, Greg.
Yeah. We have a time captain.
Yeah.
One of the characters is a time traveler, and so the time machine is kind of steampunkish. And so this is our faux control panel for the time machine. It's literally just some rack rails that my brother scavenged from some places, and some things that we just screwed in here that we had.
That's really neat,
like,
right
none of
there.
This is actually working. It functions, but we're not using it for anything right now.
Yeah.
So then just some rack pieces I had hanging around here. We just screwed them in here.
This must be how they generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity needed to make time travel possible.
This is the actual trigger for the time machine.
Okay.
So the time machine operator lets people in,
Yeah.
puts them into the time machine, and hits the go button.
That's crazy. You know, Greg always is utilizing every moment of time he has leading right up till open. I know, you always have done that. I know most hunters do that, but you really do. Like, you use it every...
No, truly. Like I said, when I say, this was like minutes before opening. We're out there trying to get this whole thing all rigged up.
These are actual pictures of you and your lovely wife.
They are pictures of us. We actually got those at the Memento Mori store at Disney World outside of the Haunted Mansion.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we got those. Those were our souvenirs when we did our Disney World trip a couple of years ago for our anniversary.
Ugh. Scary, Greg. Nice, Greg. The aging in here. Did you do all the painting and building on that? Is that another, that looks like it's an old closet door or something, right?
Yeah, you know what happened is I managed to score a whole stack of doors on Craigslist. Somebody just like had a whole bunch of doors. They had like 8 doors.
That's awesome.
And, you know, free, come get them.
Yep.
And so I just went and got them.
Yeah.
And they all match, which is nice. So pretty much all the doors in the manor are matching doors. So,
that's great.
Yeah, and you can't complain for free, right?
No,
you know?
no.
Yeah. So we built all this. We painted it all, we aged it all. A lot of times, this particular room didn't get as many coats as aging, just because we ran out of time.
Yeah.
As we do. Some of the other rooms in the haunt, you'll see, have a lot more attention to them because they were done at a time where they had a little more.
Yeah.
A little more to give, so to speak.
I see the bracing up there to support the walls. You got some cool looking lights, like they're little spotlights.
It's literally a piece of 1/2-inch PVC pipe that's just heated up and squeezed with a pair of vice grips.
Yeah.
And then a 10mm ultra bright LED. The whole system is based on an inspiration from Rich Dupree, who was a Ghoulish Cop.
Okay.
Those of us who remember the forums.
Sure
back in the
do.
day, right?
Sure
so
do.
Rich posted a video where he was doing a system, and then Derek Young, D Minor Sound, kind of made a small improvement on that system, adding some RCA jacks to it. And then I looked at what Derek had done, and I said, you know, Derek was using like these male and female cables, these extension cables.
Yeah.
They were expensive.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I said, well, wait a minute, I got a whole drawer full of male RCA cables in the garage that, you know, I've been hoarding, because all hunters are hoarders.
Absolutely.
And so I designed a lighting system that uses those male-to-male RCA cables, which you could get, which anytime you bought anything electronic for a decade, you got a couple of them thrown in the box.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just have those things laying around. So we designed all of our lighting system on these RCA cables.
That's awesome.
And then we just light everything with these little pin spots.
Yeah. And that way your haunt stays nice and dark, and it lights exactly what you want.
Right.
You have a lot of control with those things.
Strangely, the haunt is brighter this year than it's ever been.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we get inside, you'll get a chance to see.
That's...
Head on into the time machine.
Whoa.
I'm going to go ahead and fire up the program for us.
That's crazy. This is awesome.
So we're traveling back to 65 million years ago.
Whoa.
Except, of course, the time machine's not going to function correctly.
Is there like strobe lights and things like that? Or
well, yes, normally. I'm having a little technical problem
that
today.
didn't sound too good. Looks like I have some stuff to fix on this end of the time spectrum.
There's a fog machine that's not turned on right now that shoots out a little spray of fog. And then inside these, there's actually electronic firecrackers.
Okay.
That go off. But I'm having a little technical problem with those right now. So after you leave, that's what I'm going to be playing with. Okay.
That's cool.
We did have them in the show last night.
It's neat. That's just PVC pipe, and you painted it to look copper. That's cool.
Yeah. And of course, the goal was to have a lot more of it in here. But nonetheless, sometimes you can't quite get done what you need to get done. So
I love this. Where did you get? What is this?
Okay, well, that is ridge venting material. It's plastic ridge vent
that goes up in roofs.
Yeah,
right?
that goes between your rafters.
Yep.
And
the insulation and stuff, right? So you can breathe. Like,
yeah. So it
that's
provides
awesome.
the air vent up to the ridge. So I saw somebody online had used it for something industrial looking.
That is
and I just made a note of that.
cool.
And these things cost about $1 a piece for a 4-foot hunk at the Home Depot.
That is so
And they're
cool.
they're literally just dry brushed with a little bit of metallic copper paint.
That's awesome. That is a great idea.
Yeah. And of course the interior here again was faux painted by Shannon Thompson. Our
Wow.
Fantastic artist friend.
You did an awesome job painting these rivets. They look real. This ceiling up here with all these pop outs and stuff, is that just that's just little pieces of like
1x2 stapled onto a piece of Luan up there. That was inspired by we went to Knott's this year, and we went through the Dark Entity maze.
Yeah.
And if anybody's been through there, they have lots of these geometric pieces because it's a space station.
Okay.
And so it's very futuristic.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And so when they need to just break up on walls and things, they just did these geometric shapes connected together, and they literally use 1x2s and they just dry brush it like this. And I'm like,
wow, Greg,
I'm like, hey,
that's
why
so
not?
awesome.
So
that's neat, and I love even you got this little gears.
yeah,
here.
the little corner blocks there. Again, this is Shannon's stuff here.
And
so.
she did such a wonderful job.
And then of course we just dressed this up. This is just lath. Lath. We just put a little stain on it and stapled it on, and just kind of reinforced the whole steampunk look. Lots of pieces of PVC.
I love the blue
glass.
LED.
Great. We
Light.
needed some ambient light in here, and so I just threw up a strip LED around the room. And
Is that for fog?
that's for the fog. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said, and it's giving me the fog and the firecrackers give me a little trouble today, so I'm gonna have to get into that to make that work.
All these clocks, you just painted the trims?
Just painted the trims with some copper paint.
So cool.
Again, those came from a friend that worked someplace. And then, of course, we have a little closed circuit TV in here so that the operator, because the doors are closed, so the operator can see what's happening in here.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's a second camera. We go right out here. Second camera right here.
Oh, I
so
see.
As people exit, she can make sure that everybody's exited the time machine before the next group is allowed to come in.
How many people do you let in at a time?
No more than 6.
No more than
it's kind of snug in there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a 4x6 space.
Yeah.
So you got to be friends.
That's awesome. Hello? Is there any dinosaurs in here?
There's a very fancy piece here. There's a piece of paracord here that runs to the other side of the wall where the time machine operator is. So literally, as soon as that audio piece comes on, where you hear her say, "That didn't sound good. Why don't you guys get out?" She pulls that paracord, the door opens, and then the counterweight pulls it closed again. And I know that's not very cool looking.
No, but that
the
works.
thing is, you have to remember, everybody is looking this way.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking over here.
That's great, Greg.
Yeah.
You just have some
There's some sand in there.
Perfect.
Yeah, it literally, this was, again, I think about an hour before opening, we're like, we should add a counterweight to that.
That's so awesome.
So we couldn't even find the black paracord, so we ended up with that. But I'm telling you, nobody's even noticed it's there.
If they're looking back, then they're not scared.
Yeah.
Well, unless they're me, I would be trying to get out the entrance maybe. Is this a stencil that you used?
Yeah, this is a stencil. It's just an off-the-shelf stencil. I think it came from Hobby Lobby or something.
Wow.
It's just a few bucks. Yeah, and we just base paint the wall and then sprayed it with a little metallic gold, and then went through the aging process, which is usually four coats. It's usually a black, a brown, a green, and then a black again, just to reinforce it.
It's really nice. Now, I noticed a significant temperature change from going from the time machine into this room. I was like,
the time machine's out there in the sun, and of course, because of where we live, it's actually gets fairly cool at night.
Yeah.
So The garage stays pretty cool because it's insulated from everything. So
But it added like a chilly, like there is some lost souls in here. I don't know if it goes with the theme, but it's definitely, I'm feeling it. There's some more of those lights in here. That's cool. And now this is not your garage door, is it?
It's the garage door.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But again, it's very interesting. Kind of because it's a little bit low, it kind of makes you feel a little claustrophobic. A little
Oh,
bit
absolutely.
But then you come in and it's regular height.
That's awesome, Greg.
Ceiling of the garage. And we haven't even really tried to hide very much, but I will tell you that we have a lot of light contamination from the sun coming in through behind us.
Right now, yeah.
During show conditions, once it's dark outside, it's everything above this garage door is just pitch black. Cute story about the little pirate skull. Our neighbors, we have some neighbors across the way that are like in their 80s. I mean,
Okay.
And they come to the haunt every year. And so a few weeks ago, he walked over and brought that skull and gave it to my wife and said, "Here, I found this. Maybe you guys can use it for your haunt."
That's cool. That's
we
neat.
decided to put it in here, put a light on it, and they come through, maybe they'll see it. So
Greg, I love you got the curtains going on some windows here. And
yeah, there'll be scrap molding from projects that somebody did at their house or something.
Yep.
It's like, hey, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I always find a use for this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you like using like I used this stuff once upon a time for some columns. Do you tend to like that? Because it's weird, isn't it, the way that it's kind of made, you know?
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what happened to us was we got some for free.
Okay.
Right? And we ended up putting it in last year, and because we decided not to change much of the footprint between last year and this year, we ended up just extending it a little bit.
Okay.
For instance, these two panels that have the window frames in them actually came from Sherwood Scare.
Oh, okay.
Jacob. John Newberry picked them up and used them for one of his Newberry candy street fairs or something. He created like a little scene, and then he gifted them to us. So
that's great.
So we got them for free, so we just had to flesh out a little bit. So we needed something to fill last year. And so we said, well, we already had, some significant amount of it, so let's just finish it out with a couple pieces. And so the panel that the fireplace is on is all one piece. It's all a monolith. This came from Jacob. We got it from his haunt. They built it for Sherwood Scare.
Okay.
I built the little Count Rumford firebox piece for it on the back, and painted that up out of this stuff. We had some pieces of it laying about, so I just made it up and threw it in there. In our story, Ackerman is one of the family names in the story. So this is actually Horatio Ackerman's medical degree that he got. And so that's H. Ackerman or Hackerman. If you kind of take it into that place. So, and then of course this is Dr. Ackerman's picture. In previous years, this panel actually housed a plasma screen.
Okay.
In which we did like the changing portraits thing.
Yeah.
It got a little twitchy on us last season, and so we just haven't had time to acquire a new display.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, we can just get a big print. And
that is cool. Is that just a vinyl, or did you print it on?
No, it's actually just that's a poster-sized print. You go to the Sam's Club, to the photo department, get something off of Pinterest. And, pick it up in an hour. I
always wanted to get a picture this size for myself, and then make like the eyeballs move, like in the old Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Yeah, this would be a good one for it.
Yeah, it would.
Because they're set just about right, and the height is for like a real person.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Now this clock, is this built similar to the Haunted Mansion?
It's inspired by the Rolling Crumb clock, yeah.
That's awesome.
My brother actually built this, and we're actually only using it in its ambient mode right now. Believe it or not, this is all controlled with an Arduino microcontroller. Inside this motor is actually a stepper motor. That there's a trigger and a program that'll run that'll actually cause it to spin backwards, and there's sounds, chime sounds that go off, and lights that flash, and all kinds of things. So we've used it that way for every year since we've built it. Yeah. And so we try to capitalize on what we have, but we said, we can just put it in the corner. Yeah. And people walk by, and it's just something else that's there. It's so very cool. We don't have to have it going off and getting crazy every single year.
This is where Dr. Hackerman keeps all the ashes to the souls.
Actually, that's the house.
Oh, that's
So-
nice. A little
so
secret
we have a little
passageway.
secret passage takes you right
You
in.
ever hit anybody going in there?
That's why we put an actor in
Okay.
this room so that they can't do that.
There's a lot of doors right here.
Yeah, this is the Hall of Doors, inspired by the Disney Hall of Doors, obviously. Once upon a time, last season, these doorknobs were actually animated
Oh, cool.
with servos. Unfortunately, we had some little hands help us by grabbing it and giving it a little tweak.
Oh, I
they
see.
destroyed the mechanisms, and I just
Yeah.
didn't have time this year to rebuild all that stuff.
Yeah.
Something a little more robust. So
Yeah.
they're in here. And you can hear there's a separate audio track running actually of door
So you can
noise.
hear something
so you
still.
can hear something still.
Yeah.
So,
Did you have to put like a little bit of lighting on it so that people notice the movement?
You'll get a better idea once we get
Whoa.
past here what the show lighting's more like.
Creepy.
There you go. So yes, we use the pin spots and put some pin spots on it, but you can see there's not a lot of them, and there's
Yeah.
a fair amount of light in here.
Did you make these or find these at like a garage
sale find.
Really?
Garage sale find.
Man, I can never find like stuff that fits in the theme like this. Whenever
I can't
go
either,
garage.
especially because of where we live. You know, where a lot of the people who live here are fairly young,
Okay.
right? And so this is like not young people stuff.
They're like, get rid of it.
So you have to have friends, and I have friends.
Yeah.
So Lydia.
Oh, she's a
Right,
gold
yeah,
mine
yeah,
when
yeah,
it comes to that.
yeah. Lydia does a lot of garage sailing, and so I just said, "Hey Lydia, can you keep your eyes peeled for X or Y or Z?" And the neighborhoods she hits, there's a lot of gold in those neighborhoods.
That's really awesome.
So yeah, so then we come on into here. This is the doctor's office / exam room.
Ooh.
And so
Exam room. Got a little eagle toes. Swamp moss. Deadly nightshade. Howlet's wing. Wing of owl. All the stuff to make creepy potions.
this is where you can find a little bit more of the heavy aging that we had a little more time to work with in here. So if you look at it, you can see the multiple layers and multiple color layers that are in there. We like the rooms to feel like they could really be that room.
Real
that
rooms,
you're in.
yeah.
And I know that a lot of home hunters, they're like, oh, I only have so much space to work with, so I want a lot of rooms. So
Yeah.
they just pare down the size of the rooms. And to me, it's like, this helps with the suspension of disbelief.
Absolutely.
You walk into a room and you're like, yeah, that could really be the doctor's office / exam.
Yeah.
Because it's big enough.
When I walked in, I'm like, well, that's an operating table, but it actually is just a
It's just a plastic
fold-up table.
fold-up table with a sheet over the
That's
top.
awesome.
We do some of the lowest tech stuff you can possibly do.
I love
It's
it.
like, why spend money on that?
Yeah.
When you can spend money on other cool
Yeah,
things, right?
exactly.
Poster-sized prints right off of Pinterest.
They remind me of like Leonardo da
They-
Vinci sketches.
They are
or-
actually. Leonardo
Oh,
da
okay.
Vinci
Yeah,
sketches.
that's cool.
Yeah. So we just went hunting for something. Easter egg, right? These were also in Frankenstein's lab at Midsummer Scream.
Ooh,
Right.
okay.
So I sponsored those for that.
That looks like a real fireplace.
It is a real fireplace. Again, we inherit, purchase, acquire, whatever you want to say, a lot of things from a lot of people. This was Derek Young's fireplace. This was in the SoCal Valley photo op at
Okay.
Sierra LA. It went to Rotten Apple, and they asked me if I wanted it, and I said, well, of course, it's a Derek Young piece. Why wouldn't I want that?
Yeah.
And these walls, Chris, you might recognize actually.
Oh.
This is a dead giveaway.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. I'm
These
glad that
actually
they
came from Hollywood Hunter. For those people that remember the
Back in the day.
Halloween Fright Night television program, right? The backdrop
Yes.
behind the facade, right?
Yeah.
So these are those walls.
They're painted a lot cooler though now. They used to just be like black and white or whatever
Right,
colors they
right.
were. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Now all the furniture in here and stuff, I mean, the same thing, all Craigslist finds or
Believe it or not, that's a family heirloom, so to speak.
Oh,
That was-
wow.
that was Pam's sister's hutch in her house.
Okay.
And she moved out of state, and she said, "Will you guys take it?" We said, "Sure, we'll take it." And that's actually the desk out of my guest room right now. And the chairs.
Man, Greg.
But I'll tell you, in the dark, you can't tell.
No, you can't.
So,
So that's a
Which I
good
really
tip.
love.
Use the furniture you have in your house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then-
this is cool.
Yeah, this is our portrait hallway that we did, and yeah, this is a really good technique actually. This is you base coat it,
Yeah.
and then this is actually a lace curtain panel
Oh.
that you hang over it. It's, and tack it down. With
Yeah.
some foam, and then you just spray over the top. And when you peel the curtain panel off, you have this beautiful faux wallpaper pattern.
That is really a good idea. I like that.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. And then, of course, you get a bunch of garage sale frames and things, and you start looking for pictures on Pinterest and such. And so because we have a surgical hospital this year,
Yeah.
we have some pictures of nurses and doctors and things like that all over the place.
I like your sleeves. They're really big.
I like your head. It's really big.
And again, we have everything lit with our little pin spots from up above.
Very, very cool. You got some big speakers going on there.
Yeah, again, these are things you just get for little or no money from places.
Yeah.
I think I paid $5 a piece for each one of those. They're ceiling speakers.
Yeah.
Those actually stay in place year round. I have a shop stereo here in the garage. I just hook them up to that, so they're my
You're all year round.
year-round music.
Love the way you have the lighting going on in here. You're telling everybody where to look as they
Right.
walk down this hall.
That's the whole point, because at the end of the hall, we want them to look here.
Ooh.
Because this is the drop panel. If I can-
Whoa.
So we've got the drop panel there, and of course we want to highlight that so that people will look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got the wall torn apart right here because this is our little sound corner.
Okay.
So right before the show, I have to open this up and turn the sound on, and then we just bottle the wall back up.
Time to work on my scares.
Ooh. Selfie. No? Nothing? All right.
That's our little egress. I'll tell you, this thing has saved my life 1,000 times, having this door here, because
Yeah.
without this door, you have to walk all the way to the end of the haunt and go out and come around. So this is our shortcut / emergency exit.
That's neat. That's a good idea to have.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
can,
So
for a
then-
number of reasons. you
Yeah,
know.
for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we just come out here. Again, this is our recovery room scene that we have for the hospital. We made headboards and footboards out of PVC pipe.
Wow.
I actually got a lot of compliments on these.
That is
after the show
really
last night.
cool.
Yeah. They look very institutional, which is what I wanted. I've been trying to keep my eyes peeled on Craigslist for some freebie stuff. That's PEX tubing. That's 1/2-inch PEX tubing.
And you just drilled holes
Just
in
drill
the big
holes in
ones.
there and just, yeah.
That is really cool,
Shove it all
Greg.
together and glued it. And
I like
with
that.
some spray paint, and then
Yeah.
they've got some little Luan and
Oh,
1x3
wow.
frames underneath
Basically,
here.
it's built a little flat.
Yeah, just built a little flat, essentially.
That is a really good idea. I
Yeah.
love it.
And then we just covered it with some felt and some, a hunk of
Yeah.
stuff. And
That's awesome, Greg. And then
these
this
are
little
screens,
privacy screen.
3/4-inch PVC, right? The pre-bent corners and some bed sheet material and
So cool. The walls that you have here, it looks like you have some roof panels. They're separate,
Yes.
but everything goes together pretty easy.
yeah.
You got some plumbing strap kind of supporting that.
Yeah,
help
this just
keep it
hold things, in check, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's all freestanding, but just to make sure that, if something were to give a little, they couldn't go too far. 2 foot by 4 foot panel. Then the window panel is a 4 foot by 4 foot, and these are just dadoed 1x2s for the frame. We go outside, you'll be able to see what they look like. And then they're just put into 1x3s, and everything's just screwed together. And then these panels on top just sit on top and screw on
Yeah.
to the top of it.
I love that you used plastic for the
Well,
for the windows.
I gotta tell you, we stressed a lot about this.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to. What we really wanted was plexi.
Okay. And then
But
you just sand
I
it
have to take a second mortgage out of my house to buy
It's
this much
expensive.
plexi.
Yeah.
So we looked and we looked and we looked and we looked, and I finally said, well, we're just gonna get visqueen, staple visqueen up there.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, it looks amazing when it's lit, because we light the outside with floodlights.
Yeah.
And so there's this beautiful blue glow that's coming in from the outside, and then from the outside, when you're outside looking in, you can see a little bit of the amber that's coming from the other side.
Yeah, I mean, Greg, I love it because the thing is I have used plexi in the past, and I'll like go through all the work of sanding it to give it that frost look. And to be honest with you, I mean, you're pretty much selling it right there with that.
Yeah,
so.
well, again, I guess it's about being effective, right?
Yeah.
And saving the budget for where you need it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that allows us to spend it in someplace else. Head on through here to the operating room.
Ooh.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Another one of your speakers?
It is. They're literally just a ceiling speaker cut into a 12 by 12 piece of plywood. So we can just screw them up. Come on in.
Man, Greg, you have so many rooms. This is crazy.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I heard an interview with Gus Kruger, one of the designers for Knott's,
Okay.
on one of the podcasts. And he was saying that at Knott's that they target to have 13 or 14 rooms in a maze.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, if we count the spaces that we have 11 spaces,
Yeah.
which is a lot when you compare it to like a Knott's maze.
Yeah.
So I always kind of had this like, oh yeah, people would come out and they're like, it's like going to Knott's, it's like going
Yes.
to Six Flags, it's like going to Horror Nights, it's like going to, it's so amazing, and I'm like, it can't be because they just do so much more.
Yeah.
But maybe it's pretty close. I mean, maybe it's time to start saying maybe it's not so far from those places.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool because, a lot of the haunts that you go to that, if you're like, okay, it's in the garage, so it's only going to be so big, but since you've encroached into your backyard, it just keeps going and going and going. It's awesome.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
cool. So you're just using some lighting in here.
Yeah, now of course this dangly stuff down here,
Yeah.
you don't even see this at night.
Okay.
This actually effectively becomes our work lighting at night. Off season, this is our patio. We built this room. This was really our big showcase room for the haunt.
Okay.
It's essentially 12 by 16 with this little corner incursion
Yeah,
here.
it's huge.
Yeah, because that's the corner of the house right here. We have to get around the house.
Oh.
But it's a big room. So this is where we do
The surgery.
the big thing. So this year it's an operating room. In previous years it's been a study. It's been a dining room. So we have a core story, and then we approach that core story every year from a different angle, which helps us decide what do we do with the spaces, how do we design the characters, what do the costumes look like, what does the soundtrack need to be, what is, so that story really helps us
Absolutely.
design what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then drives us, that it all, okay, you have an operating room. If you have an operating room, you got to have instruments. You got to have a bed. You got to have lights. You got to have
Scary doctor.
You have to have a scary doctor, right?
What's this? This looks
Well,
like
it's
a.
kind of funny. Again, Midsummer Scream this year, Dr. Frankenstein's Laboratory.
Okay.
This was a piece that was in there. We needed some filler, and literally I built something like in 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon. And then because that particular set was all black and white,
Yeah.
anybody saw that, it needed a paint job. So again, our friend Shannon, the artist friend, offered to paint it up for us and get it a little bit more industrial, steampunkish-y feeling.
Sure.
And then she also got some help from Hector Polanco, another friend
Yep.
of ours. So they came over and did some finishing work for us, like painting the words that are painted in the hallway out there and such. Because I can't paint anything. I'm not artistic.
Well, that's wonderful that
I do
you have.
design.
Yeah.
I'm a creative thing, but I can't. I
Yeah.
can't paint a letter. I can't. I'm not that guy. And this is Neverland back here. That's the rest of the backyard. Behind here, I'll give you a glimpse of this. This is actually my
Control station?
Actually, this is my outdoor kitchen. That's this
Slash
time of year
work
is a
area.
storage area. But we also have a little gag set up there with a little projector. So this space, which has been many things depending upon what this room has been, this year we just have a shower curtain hung here, and we're projecting X-rays on the back of this.
That's a good idea.
So it kind of lends the feel of,
Yeah.
it's an operating room or something. And of course, it doesn't hurt that I work in the medical field, so I have all sorts of access to surgical instruments and things. So we managed to get some good stuff, so to speak.
Not anything I'd want touching my body. Did you build this little doctor's table?
Yeah, we did. It's actually extremely sturdy.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's just 2x3s and plywood, and again, coat of stain on it. which makes it look like something it's not.
Yeah.
You know?
Are these legitimate?
Those are legitimate surgical instruments, yeah, that again, I've managed to get throughout my years of hoarding stuff. I'm an OR nurse by training and background, so I've had access to a lot of that kind of stuff. And when it gets to a place where it's either outdated or no longer usable for real surgery and it's being replaced, rather than see it go into a trash can somewhere, I'll scavenge it and bring it home if it's something interesting.
And cover it with fake blood and...
Well, you'll notice...
It's pretty clean in here. This is a very sanitary surgical haunt room.
It is, other than all the mold and mildew and things growing
on the wall.
But the actual surgical instruments, you'll notice there's no blood.
No.
We're a no-gore haunt.
Oh.
So for us to even have an operating room was a bit of a challenge to do that. But, people make things up in their mind. You don't have to see it for it to be there.
Yeah, I just did.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no blood. There's no blood anywhere.
That's interesting. That's cool.
We're very kid-friendly.
Yeah.
So we always offer a no-scare option.
Okay.
We have these cute little Dollar Tree they're supposed to be like little magic wands that are LEDs that
that's
blink.
great idea.
We give them to somebody who wants a no scare option, and they carry that. And that way the actors know, they see that thing flashing coming, and they know that there's no scare option.
Okay.
And then we just have the actors say Happy Halloween to them.
Okay.
As they come through and be nice to them.
I'll be sure and get one of those lights. Wait a minute, you said no blood. No blood, no blood. Kid friendly. You said kid friendly.
We got these from Jacob at Sherwood Scare.
That is wonderful.
These are like mahogany or something, dude.
They're heavy.
These doors, they weigh about 85, 90 pounds a piece. And they're real. They're the real enchilada.
You just aged the glass, it looks like, and made it look all old.
They stay out in my backyard all year.
Oh, so it's natural aging.
We just don't clean it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, sometimes Mother Nature takes care of it.
Yeah.
And so these walls, these we made very early on. These were a crypt. They were an actual room that went, a 360-degree room. Kenneth Thompson,
yes.
K Studios, right? So this is his brick technique.
Yeah.
So each one of these bricks is literally a piece of foam that's cut out, and then it's split in half. So it's half-inch pink foam, could be blue, doesn't matter. But it's a half-inch foam, and it's cut into a brick shape, and then you use a long knife and cut it and peel it apart. And when you do that, it creates all this texture.
It's awesome. You did a wonderful job.
Then you flame it.
Yeah.
And then you grout it. Literally use a grout bag. They were laying down. We literally used a grout bag and grouted that whole thing in and just.
That's my favorite part too. The grout like oozing out of each brick.
Yeah.
No, these are beautiful.
Yeah. So.
I'm glad that you're still utilizing those.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you make something, you're like, I can't not use it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's too cool. So.
Are they just Are they just built like regular studio flats? Okay.
They're 4x8 flats underneath. They're a pain to store because these parts are all white foam.
Yeah.
And you can see there's a little bit of rash on them here. In some places because we did not hard coat the white foam.
Yeah.
So this year, I think we're going to rehab these and hard coat them.
Yeah.
And then repaint them.
Yeah. So do you just try to store them face to face?
Yeah, we store them face to face.
Yeah.
We keep them in the garage.
That's a good idea.
I built a flat dolly. I think I got that idea from you. So we have 4x8 flat dolly that we store them on in the garage.
That's a good idea. That's neat. That's really cool.
If you have to move them around, you can.
Yeah. So, but I mean, up until now though, you just touch them up every year, right?
Yeah. We just run around with some gray paint and hit the little spots where there's some rash on them.
Okay.
And again, in show lighting, even that you don't see much. I mean, we could not do that and it would be okay.
Yeah.
Because people don't see it.
Yeah.
We've got some floodlights and things that are shining through this camo netting. That the camo netting just breaks it up.
Yeah.
And some people say, well, how come the camo netting doesn't go all the way down? It's like, well, if you once you clear the camo netting, then you can see the barn
outside. Yeah, you want to be outside.
Yeah,
it's like
outside to begin with. The camel netting just provides a breakup on the lighting, so it doesn't look so hard.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I wanted them to see the barn facade because, you know, it was a lot of work. So
Yeah.
I don't want it hidden. So there you go. And this is the outside of that conservatory we talked about.
It's really nice.
So again, these are just 1x2s. They're just dadoed and turned into little window frames, and then we painted them black. Then we dry brushed antique copper, and then we made up a patina out of a couple of colors of blue acrylic and water, and then just washed everything down.
It's beautiful.
The roof
I love how
is Luan, right?
Okay.
It's all Luan, and again, it was painted black, then antique copper, and that same patina applied. And it's funny, I didn't think it really looked much like real copper. And a couple of years ago, after we had made it, we went to Washington, D.C., and there are a bunch of buildings there with copper roofs. And I was shocked. I thought, it really does look like a copper
Yeah.
roof. You know, I mean, that's what I was going for when I did it. And I came out of it, I was like, I'm not so happy with it. It doesn't look right. And then I went and saw real copper roofs. I'm like, yeah, it does. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's actually, it's kind of cool how it I mean, I'm sure in the dark, it looks like it ties right into your existing beam there.
Yeah, it's pretty snug.
Yeah.
Pretty snug.
Very cool. Man, this barn is awesome. Really good job on this. Now, was that like free wood or something? I mean,
Yeah.
that thing looks like it's legitimately a real old barn.
My brother, there was a guy close to my brother's house that did fences
Okay.
for a living. And so he would bring home the old fence boards, and they'd stack them at the shop there or something until they had, you know, enough to get rid of them in a load. And so my brother would just go over there and just give them to him for free.
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
Then when they got the new fence boards, there were separator boards, you know what I mean, between the
Yes.
new stuff.
Yep.
So these are just like 1/4-inch pieces of the separator boards that were in the new stacks that he just picked those up, because this is just scrap. I mean, they were just throwing the stuff away.
That's
you know, and so
awesome.
we just picked it up and we did that. Again, another piece by Shannon. She carved this.
Man, she does such a good job.
Really good job.
I love how you have like a little bale of straw up there to, you
Right.
know, because I mean, even though it's little, it because of the size of the hole and everything,
Right.
it's awesome.
Right. Yeah. You wouldn't want to put a full size one up.
No.
You got like a little creepy guy trying to climb in here.
Yeah, I know. We have some people who like to decorate. Find some bones and-
Where did you get these saddles?
So our friend Shannon, her sister is a merchandiser for Boot Barn. So when they get rid of stuff,
Yeah.
she's got a source. So I actually bought these saddles from Shannon. She has them. She has them using for decor and such.
That's crazy. You know, it's hard to find people that get rid of saddles, even when they're old, right? Because don't they can always repurpose them if they want to spend the money and stuff. So,
I think I paid $10 a piece for them.
man, you got a wonderful deal on that. This is so cool, Greg.
And again, these are just more old fence boards. You know what I mean? They're just
Yeah.
ripped on, create some little shelving units. And my wife Pam, her mom lives in the mountains in Arizona most of the year. And so they've got a lot of places where you can get little tchotchke antique decor items. We went to this one place and they had a giant table out there, and it just said rusty things, $5 each. And so we just went through and started picking up some rusty things for the barn. So
That's
we just-
awesome.
And then we just drill some holes and put a little piece of baling wire around them so that somebody can't,
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
and they can't
No.
fall off the shelf.
Yeah. Walk away.
Yeah.
Very cool. Those kind of props are fun to try to find and shop for.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah. Again, whenever we go to visit her mom, we
Yeah.
always stop and try to pick up some little things. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and then of course we've got the barrel is again a merchandising barrel. This was we acquired that after Midsummer Scream again. This is
Yeah.
the Frankenstein lab piece. It was painted black and white. Shannon again, of course, with all her talent, did that. So we
very
intentionally
cool.
didn't skin these flats
Yeah.
because we wanted the gaps,
Yeah.
because we actually light from the inside.
Yeah.
So you actually, when you walk out, you can actually see the light piercing through the slats.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
It definitely adds a creepy factor to
Exactly.
the barn.
Right. And then we've got a bunch of our lanterns in here. These are the $5 Walmart lanterns that are just...
You guys did a good
painted
job
up.
rusting those up.
Yeah. And then
awesome.
I wired them with 12-volt flickering LEDs.
Oh, very
And,
cool.
they all wire into our hot lighting system. So you can see right here, this is just a piece out of a Category 5 cable.
Okay.
Right? So that's just one pair that goes up there. So it's nice and skinny. So you really
Oh,
don't see
yeah.
it.
That's teeny tiny wire right there.
Right. And then, again, everything plugs in with these RCA cables.
Yeah.
And the RCA cables plug into the boxes. And then there's power supplies that plug into the boxes.
That's
And that makes
awesome,
setting
Greg.
up very quick.
Yeah.
Because you just put the
Yep.
fixtures where you want, you put a box, you run some cables, you're done.
I love it. I need to do that someday.
Yeah, it does make it a lot easier.
Now, Greg, this is a very cool. I love how you actually built like the little dividers, because even though like scale wise it's little, it's awesome. I mean,
It's
you
like
definitely
the beds, they're scaled down.
Yeah.
But you get the idea, right? And so
Absolutely.
here it's the same thing. You have the stalls that you would have in a barn.
Yeah.
We've got saddles, we've got stalls, we've got tack, we've got, all the things you would expect to see in a barn, except we just have plain brown walls.
Yeah.
And so people are like, well, but nobody's looking at that.
Yeah.
Right? They're all looking at the eye candy. They're not looking at the walls.
Yeah.
So again, we spend where we
Is there
we need it.
is there a hide in here for
yeah,
like
we'll have a scare actor in here. They'll move back and forth between this one and this one, and they just crouch down a little bit. And because there's light actually coming this way, both over here and back right behind you, the light is kind of hiding the actor, and so they can pop out here and do that. This is our exit hallway.
Ooh.
I don't have the fog machine turned on in here.
Yeah.
Just because, but normally we have a little trigger right here,
Okay.
right?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Right? And there's a prop controller in here, and so when you break it,
It sets off the
kicks
fog.
on the laser vortex, and the fog is there all the time. The laser vortex kicks on, the little audio track comes on.
That is
And
cool.
that's the time person pulling you back into real time. We sponsored some of the walls for the Midsummer Scream Frankenstein
Yes.
build. So these are actually the walls from there, untouched. We just literally set them up in the exit hall here.
Why not? You reuse them.
we didn't need to do anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah, excuse me.
Now,
And we got some of this cool greenery. These like greenery curtains.
Yeah.
Don't ask me where they came from, because I bought them.
That's
I bought them from
awesome.
another hunter.
That is so
But
cool.
they're great.
Yeah, I like it. It's like
anybody who's tried to buy anything greenery,
Yeah.
knows how expensive it is.
Yeah.
We got two of these. These are two curtains, and they were $30 a piece.
Okay.
Which was very reasonable, I thought.
You just are they just like 3 foot
They're-
tall or 4
yeah,
foot
they're like
tall?
4x8, I think, or 4x10 or something like that.
Okay, and you just
Yeah, we just
connected
turned
them?
them sideways and tied them together.
That's
And
awesome.
the fog machine's actually hiding right here underneath the bottom of this, and so it just is, it's on a timer, so it just belches fog out into here regularly. And then, of course, when you trip it and the vortex comes on, you get that effect with the nice swirling laser vortex effect.
Very cool. Do you ever have anybody hiding under the vortex
No,
like that?
no, we haven't done that.
You want people to leave at this point.
Right, because right behind you is where they've just had the jump scare
Yeah.
from the person in the barn.
Yeah.
So this is their
Only way out.
Their only way out. So we don't want to push them back that way. Well, it is. The computer's actually doing something right now. It's actually running a show that you're hearing in the background. And every 7 minutes or so, there's a singing pumpkin show that goes on out there. It runs this kind of storm ambient thing, and then switches over to that. These little stake lights, again, they go with the 12-volt lighting system. So it's just a half-inch piece of PVC cut with a bevel on it, so you can shove it in the ground.
Yeah.
And that's a 45-degree elbow,
Yeah.
and then an inside cap. And if you look at the inside cap, you'll notice it's exactly the right size for a 10mm LED to fit in. So
That's
you
cool.
just drill 2 holes in there to put the wires through there. You glue it all together and you just stick it through there.
That's
It all
awesome,
connects.
right?
You notice the snaking of wires. Again, after dark, you don't see those
No,
wires at all.
not at all.
And then they connect to the little boxes. Right? The boxes have female RCA connectors on them. Right? And then we can connect those to a 12-volt power supply. Right?
Yeah.
So everything just connects to these boxes. We use little Y splitters and connectors and things to branch out the power distribution all over the place.
Yeah.
And again, it makes setting up really fast.
Yeah.
Because you can set up a whole bunch of these little things, plug them into a box, plug the boxes together, plug it all into a single 12-volt power supply, and the whole yard can run off of a 2-amp power supply.
That is awesome.
Which keeps the power down, which makes everybody happy.
Yeah.
And then we have up here in the tree, we strung a piece of pipe up there, and then we have some par cans up there. All those are LED bulbs in the fixtures, so we don't have to worry about running a lot of power again, but we get enough light. So that just gives us our overall wash of kind of blue light on the graveyard. So
that's cool.
These little guys in the ground then just give you a little pop of color
yes.
on the tombstone.
Yep.
So after dark, you'll see some are green, some are blue, some are red. So they're just kind of a dumb single fixture. And then of course the ubiquitous LED candles. Right?
Yeah.
Again, they just have 12-volt LED flickers in them. They're just wired together with a connector on it. They plug into the same system.
Yeah.
So everything we have runs off of these RCA cables, the boxes, everything. It all is the same thing. So you don't have to worry about, do I have the right cord?
Exactly.
Do I have the right power adapter? Do I
yes.
have the right anything? It's all universal. So,
I love it.
So it makes it very easy. I can delegate setting stuff up to people without having to worry about them getting it.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like those? Are you happy with the brightness of those flicker candles? Like at nighttime, they're bright enough?
Yeah, they're plenty bright at night.
Okay.
And actually, some of these are actually made with thin wall PVC, which we got again from the price table at Callahan's meeting. Somebody just left a big bag full of these pieces. They intended to make candles and they never did.
Yeah.
And so they just put them on the price table and I got them. And so I made a bunch of candles out of them. The thin wall PVC, if you can find it, it's hard to find. I think you probably have to go to a plumbing supply place to get it. You can find the thin wall stuff. You can actually see, even with the small 5mm LEDs, flicker LEDs, you can actually see the candlelight through the wall.
Oh, that's cool.
Even with the paint and everything.
Do you hard coat any of your tombstones, or did you just do like the gray paint and?
I use dry lock, so I don't really hard coat it, but the dry lock's pretty
good
tough
enough.
stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
For most of it, right? So yeah, that works, and I like the texture the dry lock gives you, because then when you dry brush some white on there to get some highlights, it really the grit, the sand that's in it, kind of really gives it a nice texture.
Are a lot of your tombstones made with white foam, or do you use basically any kind of foam you can get your hands on?
Well, anymore, right?
Yes.
In Southern California, you can't hardly get the pink or blue or whatever.
Yeah.
The high density stuff, it's almost impossible. So a lot of them are of the pink foam. From when we could get it. So some of the other bigger tombstones over there as well, they have a white foam core with just a 1/2-inch piece of pink foam laminated onto it.
Yeah.
Because the pink stuff carves nice.
Okay.
So you could carve epitaphs and things in it nicely into that 1/2-inch piece of foam, and then you just glue it onto a 3-inch thick piece of white foam.
That's smart. Yeah.
That way, you're not spending all that money.
Yeah, building it up.
Up. You bulk it up with the white stuff, and then just for where you need to carve something nice into it, you need it to be crisp. Put the good foam on.
You even have the little platforms to level it out.
Well,
That's so cool.
Yeah, but they're plywood with the bricks are made out of Luan. Right?
Okay.
So that's your Luan technique that you recommended. And the doors are just plywood, and they're got a little rust finish on them, so that if you had black steel door and it sat out, it kind of looked. I was pretty impressed at how they came out looking like the way I think they would look if that were the case.
Now, do you have that door on there so you can put like weight in there, like sandbags?
No, believe it or not, you really don't need to. They're pretty heavy. No, but the door does allow us to get in there because we put power strips in here
for each light.
and then you can see that we daisy chain and run the cords along here. So
that is awesome.
Yeah, so that allows us to get the power from column to column to column. That was our way to add a fence on top of the wall without doing anything to the wall. So it goes all the way down.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Under every juncture of the fence.
Yeah, man, you got fencing going all the way around.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
At some point I decided, we needed to have some fencing. Just because, you don't want to just leave this stuff, you never know.
Absolutely.
Somebody just decide, hey, I want to put one up. So
All right, well, that was awesome. I cannot wait to go through this thing at night. If any of you guys can get out here to Palmdale to check out Restless Souls Manor, definitely do it. It's totally worth it. And thank you so much, Greg,
you're
for
welcome.
taking the time to walk through and show us all your stuff.
Yeah,
It's really awesome. Now, where can they find you?
Probably the best place to look for us is on Facebook, Restless Souls Manor. That's probably our number
Okay.
one thing to hit us up there.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Subscribe!